I can see you all showing up. And how are you all doing? Zino Ojogbo is supposed to join me tonight. Sit down. So I'm looking for Zino. Those of you that are already in Canada, Zino has joined. Hi, Zino. So let me bring Zino live. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you have all been waiting for. So, yeah. Hey,
Hi.
Zino, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm very well, thank you. We are in Nigeria, so we had a bit of power fluctuations. So I wanted the electricity to stabilize before we came live. So we'll not be talking live and then light will go. And then we'll talk live again and light will go again. You know how it is in Nigeria. So it seems a bit stable. Relocating to Canada with ease. Let me present to you the lady who needs no introduction because she was with us a few weeks ago, if I'm correct. And she had the Canada relocating issues, especially going the study route. So over to you. The floor is yours, Zino.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be back here again. For those of you joining us on every platform, you're welcome. I'm live today with Daddy Freeze. My name is Zino. I am an educational consultant at Success Factors Migration. I am also a third-year PhD candidate at the University of Waterloo in Ontario, Canada.
Wow.
Several years ago, I relocated as an international student to Canada. That was in 2017 with my 2-year-old son. And we came to Canada for a better life. And we relocated via the study pathway. So I was able to secure funding. I know how expensive it is when people talk about the study pathway and everybody looks the other way. Like, I don't even want to think about it because I don't have the money for it. I was like that too, thinking that, I can't afford this study pathway. I don't have the money for it. But then I was able to secure scholarships to relocate to Canada with my son. And since I did that, I have been teaching people the same thing, how to relocate abroad via the study pathway. And this goes across all the high income countries: Canada, UK, US, New Zealand, Australia. Just name it. Name the country that you want to study. The principles are the same. So this goes across all the countries, and that's what I've been doing. And together as a community with my Instagram, my Facebook, and my YouTube community, we've been able to secure over $3 million in scholarships as a community. And I still go around spreading the word because I see that a lot of people want to relocate, but they are stuck. They don't know how to start or where to start from. So that's what I do, and that's me basically.
Oh, okay. Did you want to say something else?
Yeah, I was going to say that I could start by sharing my story so that people can relate.
Story. Before I start asking.
When they see me, they just think that maybe my life was a bed of roses and I was flexing, and maybe my father had money somewhere and he used that to send me abroad. That wasn't the case. Just like many of us, I went to a public Nigerian university, University of Benin. That was where I did my bachelor's, and I graduated in 2010. I proceeded to do my NYSC. During my NYSC, I was one of the fortunate few that was able to secure a job. So I secured a job during my NYSC in one of the oil service companies then in Baker Hughes. It was a good job, at least for my level at that time. It was a good job. I could buy myself a car. I could go for a vacation. So it was a good job. I used to go to the field and do all those things in the oil field and get field bonuses. And then at this time I'd already thought about relocating, but because I had this good job, I packed my relocation dream. I just packed it in one corner, and I decided that I was going to work, and perhaps few years down the line I could think about other options. In 2016, when the oil price dropped. I'm sure that many people were affected by the oil price drop of 2016. When the oil price dropped in 2016, that job that I was relying on, I'd lost it. I lost the job.
So
it
let
was
me
like,
ask you, lose the job? Did they just say, okay, your services are no longer wanted, or it was just?
yeah,
I remember the economic downturn in 2016, and I had a salary cut then that till I retired this year, the salary was not increased. That's it.
yeah. Yeah, so for me, I remember that I was sitting in my office when HR just called me and they were like, yeah, you know, come to my office. I knew it had happened because then they were letting people go. So I knew that it was my turn. And then I went there and the lady was trying to say, you know, sign this document. I'm like, no, I'm not signing the document because then we're trying to form a union. I'm not signing the document. My union says don't sign the document. And I left the office. Before I got home, they had cut off my phone, shut me out of my computer and everything. It was from Ikoyi to Igboefon then. Before I got home, yeah, everything was gone. And it was like a joke. It was all gone. And at this time, I didn't have a lot of savings. I think by the time I lost the job and I went back to look into my bank account, I had only 1.2 million naira. It was, I'm like, oh my God, where do we go from here? What's next? I tried to call all my contacts. I'd made some contacts in the oil companies then because I used to work with them. I called all my contacts and there was nothing that was happening because they're like, yeah, I wouldn't have company. They're laying people off. So there are no opportunities. When there are opportunities, we'll call you. And I stayed there thinking, what do I need to do? I remember clearly it was a day to my birthday. So it was like a sad birthday present. What next? What do I need to do? That was when in the sort of sadness and staying home every day and going depressed, I decided I was going to dust my certificate back and look into this, my relocation dream. So I dusted my certificate and I'm like, yeah, they said that you can travel abroad. Let's travel abroad. At that time, I first of all tried other methods, but it wasn't working. So I decided I was going to go via the study pathway because personally, I always known that the study pathway is the easiest, fastest, and most reliable way to relocate abroad. So I took my certificates that, okay, I'm going to do this. Just like many of us, when you say you want to relocate abroad, the first thing that comes to people's mind is to go and get an agent, use an agent. So just like many of us, I looked for an agent. That was the first thing I did. Okay, agent, Mr. Agent, where are you? Come and help me. I want to go abroad and study. So at first, agents couldn't even get me admission. So first of all, I was lucky to fall in the hands of good agents, the ones that will not take my money and run away. So I was that lucky. So the agent couldn't even get me admission and I'd waited for a while. So after waiting for a while, I'm like, why am I even wasting my time? I looked for another agent. Then admission came. I was so excited. Oh yes, admission. By the time I saw the tuition fees, $30,000 per year.
$30,000.
Yeah. Where will I see $30,000 from? You know, where one moment
1.2 million at that stage.
Exactly. One moment you are jumping the excitement that you got in admission. The next moment you look at the tuition. That's the end of your excitement. Excitement cut short. And I'm like, okay, it seems like we have gotten to the end of the tunnel, but there is no light. It is very dark here. This is
We got to the end of the tunnel and they forgot to on the generator.
Exactly. This one Nepa failed me here.
Hey.
So that was when I began to ask around because I know that back then I had some friends from Uniben that had gone abroad to study. These people were friends. I know their background. If I thought about it, if this tuition is $30,000 per year, some of these people that have gone cannot afford it. So how did they do it? How did these people go abroad to study? Yeah. So that was when I started looking and asking around and looking for opportunities. Like people said, okay, you can get scholarship. But people tell you, know what? Yeah, you can get scholarship. Just go and Google it. And then you go and you Google it. you don't find anything on Google.
People are
like
wicked.
Yeah, I said that Google it. You don't find anything on Google. I'm like, oh my God, where do I go from here? I stayed up day and night until I figured out how to secure scholarships for myself. So between when I had this, when I started applying, I figured this out by starting applying. Of course, when you start, you'll be getting responses. First of all, you don't get responses. Second, you get responses of people telling you no. Then there was one day I attended one of those, I think it was on YouTube, one of those sales pitch, one of those people that were giving their sales pitch, and the person was talking about people that sell physical products, and he's like, every product has their flaws, but as the seller of this product, you have to make sure that your consumer or your customer sees this product and is ready to invest in the product. So that's when I decided to put myself as, okay, if I am the product and I'm applying for scholarship, I need to make these people, show these people my value so that they can invest in me. Because telling people alone that, you know, I'm unemployed, I'm from a poor country, nobody gives you money because you are poor.
Yeah.
So I had to change my tactics. And once I started presenting my value, I got a few offers. And finally, I landed at the University of Waterloo. It was the most exciting day of my life when the offer letter came with funding. And I realized that, okay, I did not have to pay tuition anymore. Like, it just seemed like everything fell in place. And finally, somebody turned on the generator inside of my tunnel. So, so that was it. I applied for the visa. I was fortunate to get visa for myself and my son, and we relocated. I know that many people may be thinking that, okay, some people will tell you that, you know, when you go abroad, you go and wash plates, or you go and work in the mortuary, and you go and do all sorts of things. Since then, since I relocated to Canada, it seems like the doors opened, and I've been able to secure scholarships upon scholarships for myself. While I was in Nigeria, I drove one Toyota Corolla 2005. But as a human being, it has always been my dream to drive a brand new car. I was able to achieve that even as a student. In Nigeria, I wanted to live in the kind of
last time. Zino, you did not tell us this one last time.
Oh, yeah. Well, that time I was just getting acquainted to us. So now we are now friends, so I can now begin to open up.
Oh boy.
Within the first 2 years of landing in Canada.
I want to pick up on something you said. I remember when I was setting up my YouTube channel, I didn't have a clue what to do. So I was asking people, everybody was telling me just the way they were saying, hey, you see it on YouTube. Meanwhile, it is a Herculean process.
Yes.
It's easy to do it. Just Google it.
Exactly. Google it.
And I now went with a set of people for some Samsung event. They were all YouTubers. I now sat down with them. I said, please, guys, show me how they do this thing. All of them just made it look so easy. I thank God, to the glory of God, I'm bigger than all of them on YouTube now. They are shakara, whatever they want to do with it, let them do with it. But I understand where you're coming from, because people naturally don't like to help. They'll rather give you money than show you where they got theirs from. So what you're doing is actually a community service if people are willing to sit down, listen, try to assimilate, and then understand and put things together. Because every day people are thinking, you see, the dollar now is going for almost 600 naira, if not more than 600. People are speculating. Nothing works. We have nothing literally working. And we want Nigeria to remain peaceful. So the only option is for us to leave the Nigeria, let it remain peaceful. Now, I'm going to leave Nigeria, I'm going to leave Nigeria, I'm going to leave Nigeria, I'm going to leave Nigeria. Do you know the road to leave Nigeria? So everybody is hearing this beautiful place, about this beautiful place called Canada. I actually visited in 2019, just before the COVID. And I stayed in Ontario, really beautiful, big, wide streets, nice. You know, everything works. I visited Toronto. I liked it. But you see, that's because my mother is Romanian and I have a Romanian passport that doesn't need a visa to Canada. What about you? You don't even have a passport, let alone a passport that does not need a visa. Do you know where the Canadian embassy is? So this is when you need to start listening. You went to a university in Nigeria, this message is for you. You had a good grade, even if you didn't have a good grade, but the fact that you had a good grade will also speak for you. What are your experiences? All this would speak for you. You want to go to Canada, it's not automatic. You're not going to enter your phone and go there as a text message. You have to literally, physically leave Nigeria to Canada. And before you cross that airport, you have to show them documentation of what you want to go and do abroad. Now, there are young people now who are about to get into the university. They can't get scholarships. So they're saying, you know what? Let's go to the university in Nigeria. When we're done, what are my hopes? Am I going to go and work in one bank that they said they sold the shares in 12 years ago for 20,000 naira, 23,000 naira, and the guy kept the shares till now and sold it now for 20,000 naira, losing 3,000 naira in 12 years. Are those the banks you want to go and work for? Or the oil companies that are literally struggling? So then there's so many courses. Like one of my daughters is torn between zoology and vet medicine. Of course, for either of the two. Have you seen the lions in Nigerian zoo? They threw goats inside the enclosure. The lion took off. If you see how the lion... if you see how the lion... Now, King Biscuit that they give the lion chop. So, how do you have some certain courses that you love, but you know in this Nigeria, where do you study zoo? Nigeria gets zoo. Unless you want to be a zoologist of Nigeria as a whole, say Nigeria as zoo. Then only you want zoologist. But that there is one zoo that you want to go there and be looking at lion, or you want to go there and be looking at crocodile. You will see the crocodile, they say it's crocodile. No, but this one looks like lizard. No, just imagine it's crocodile. It looks like. So how do you now get these people? And have you ever been to the Canadian Zoo?
Yes, I have.
I can imagine what it looks like.
Yeah, it's really nice there. You see all the kind of animals there. They have tour guides to take you around. You can feed, you can talk, you can interact. Yeah, I took my son there once.
So all these things, and the zoo needs zoologists.
Yeah.
You're a vet doctor, a pharmacist, a genetic engineer, biologist, a chemist, a physicist, whatever it is you studied. Listen, it is in Nigeria that you see somebody that studied Yoruba and is working in bank. Or somebody that studied medicine and is working as front desk in an oil company.
Yeah.
Career paths are... Your career path, if you have a passion for it, you will have the opportunity to see it to the fullest abroad. This is what you should be listening to. Her name is Zino Ojogbo. That's her handle. Zino. Let me see if it's okay. Yes, two O's. ZINOOJOGBO. One word like that on Instagram. Follow her. Can I have an email? I like to give out your email during the interview, even before we finish the interview, so people can actually start reaching out to you in a jiffy.
Yeah, I'm typing the email here.
Okay, someone said they need to know what you studied in Nigeria. I'll be pinning the questions as we proceed. What did she study in Nigeria? That is from Chuksi Hoovers. What did she study in Nigeria? So Zino, over to you.
So I have a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. That was the degree I did in Nigeria. Then I did my master's degree in chemical engineering at the University of Waterloo, fully funded. My research was in biopolymers. Then I'm also doing my PhD in chemical engineering and nanotechnology. I have a passion for research. In fact, I didn't know that I had a passion for research. In Nigeria, they don't do research. I didn't know I had a passion for research. When I was coming to,
nobody has now hustle
eh?
everybody. Let me tell you something. I know a guy that did lawn tennis scholarship to go abroad.
Oh yeah,
they were
yeah.
lawn tennis scholarship. The guy had
Different.
never seen a ball in his hand. He had never seen racket before. But they told him that if he can play this lawn tennis, he will get scholarship. Baba win their number one champion. In 1 year, Baba train, win their champion, go collect the scholarship. Lawn tennis scholarship. So Nigerian men, what's passion? If you tell me I will push this car and this car will take me abroad, they will push car. Play tennis, they will, anything they do to get them out. But you see, all of a sudden when you get abroad, the educational system is different. And then you have your to pursue your passions. Don't you want to pursue your passions?
Yeah.
Please tell me about this. You have a passion for research.
I remember during my interview, my supervisor asked me, have you been in a lab before? I had just had to tell him the truth that no, but I'm a fast learner. I am a fast learner. So he's like, okay, no problem. I'm happy to teach you. I went and I started doing this research. At the beginning, I was using this study route to Ojogbo. My master's was not what was doing me, but I just wanted a pathway to legally relocate. So I used as a pathway to legally relocate so I can finish the master's and be in that country. But I started doing this research and I fell in love with it. It was so good. I started to win other scholarships, win awards in the department and all that. I'm like, okay, I finally found my thing. Like this is my thing. And that's how I decided that I was going to do the PhD. And since then it's been really good. I got the federal government scholarship. It's very competitive, but I was able to do it. And people may be thinking now that maybe Zino has first class or she's. The fact is this, that if you set your mind to do something, and with the kind of resources that they have abroad, it's not like Nigeria where they will stress you your education there, that even you almost give up. With the kind of resources and support, that like you have everything, all you have to do is just put your head down. If you do that, then you'll be very successful. So that's how I succeeded, even with a 2-year-old. Because I hear people saying that you cannot go to school with children. I tell them that children are blessings. They are not a hindrance to you. You just need to find a way to make it work. Now, was it a walk in the park for me when my son was 2 years old and I was schooling with him in this country alone? I would not even lie to you and say that it was the easiest thing for me to do. It wasn't the easiest thing for me to do, but I did it. And I'm here. And I'm here today. And I've succeeded even more than the people that I knew in my class that did not have any funding. So some other person will be thinking that, their age is the problem. See, guys, there is only one pathway that doesn't have the age restriction. In any relocation pathway, the only one that have age restriction is the study pathway, because learning never ends. And they understand that people would always study, change career paths, do something new. So it's only the study pathway that doesn't have any age restriction. And there are funding opportunities for every category of students. And if you know that you want to relocate, this is the easiest pathway for you to take to legally relocate. Don't go and be doing all those things. Like some people message me and they're telling me that, they want to go to one place and go and declare refugee. I'm like, well, I did not relocate like that, so I don't know anything about that pathway. But if the people that have gone through this pathway would sincerely share their experience with you, you will never think about that. That cannot be your plan. How can that be your plan? That can never be your plan.
No, Zino, that is how one guy who was 45 years old ran as a refugee and said he was 20. Nigeria, 20-year-old and 45-year-old, nobody know the difference. They call absorber mental system for Europe. 15 years later, he's 60.
Yeah.
His body is a 60-year-old body. But to them, he's 35.
Yeah.
So, 25 more years before he can retire.
Yeah.
So he's going to retire at 85, walking like he's going to die. Listen to all the story before you follow them. Oh.
Yeah.
The guy called me, said, Daddy, freeze. He was live on my show. Said, Daddy Freeze, help me tell people not to make the mistake I made.
At least this person was even sincere. Some people would never say it. They would never say it. They would just tell, because everybody wants it to be as if their situation is good, right? They are doing okay, but they'll never say the truth. And then a lot of people would plan like that and say, okay, I want to come and do what this person did. So I tell people, like, you don't have money, it's not a problem. There are opportunities for you. You see people are looking up and down, proof of funds. Now, the new thing in Nigeria is that they'll go and pay somebody to arrange proof of funds for them. One thing that people forget, so they arrange somebody to give them bank statements. They use that bank statement. Some people get lucky and they get away with it. They get the visa. But there's something that people forget. They forget that when you come here, you would actually pay the tuition. So now they've used arranged bank statement to get the visa. They come here. You cannot, if you don't pay the tuition, you cannot go to school. You go out of status. It means that you are just here hiding underground, hiding in the country. You don't want to do that to yourself. When there are many opportunities for you, and then you can relocate with your spouse. So just imagine that as a man, you are married and you are relocating with your wife. If one of you is a student, let's say the man is the student, your wife will get an open work permit that allows her to work full-time to support the family. If you come to a country like Canada, your children go to school for free up until the end of secondary school. That's world-class education. Imagine how much you pay for school fees in Lagos. When my son was less than 2 years old in Lagos then, it was an average school, not even one of those gang schools. It's like an average decent school. For preschool, we're paying 200,000 naira. That was in 2015, 2016. So just imagine pay a school fees for their children these days. Very expensive. So, and these are the things that you get when you relocate to a country that will talk about the safety, talk about the ability for you to be able to buy the things that you want to buy, like buy a property, buy a car. Some people would never have these opportunities. I tell them that the reason why you don't have these opportunities is because of the country that you live. You cannot grow beyond your environment. The environment sets a glass ceiling on top of your head. Once you get to the top of that ceiling, that's it. You need to leave that environment if you want to grow beyond that ceiling that the environment has set. There was one day I saw somebody saying that, if you have a degree in biochemistry in Nigeria, you can never ever get a job. I empathize with the person, like I understand where the person is coming from, but then again, I told this person, you are not a tree. You need to move. Biochemists, they are doing very well in other countries. So if your country does not value your degree, go to a place where your degree is valued. You need to move. You are not a tree. Stop staying in a place where you are not valued. Rather than complain and say every day things are not working, there is this saying that it's better to light a single candle than to complain about the darkness. But I find that for many people, it's easier for them to just whine, complain, because to take action takes work. Yes.
It's therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
When you whine, therapeutic.
Yeah, it takes.
Now. Should I open up the phone lines? I said phone lines. Should I open up the line so people can ask questions? Because there's so many people. I can see questions piling up. Guys, do you have questions? Send a request to join us in this live. I'll bring you up. You ask your question. Zino would answer. Then I'll take you off and bring the next person. I want this to be as interactive as possible. Now, I want to create a scenario for you while we're waiting for people to request. Imagine, Zino, imagine I graduated third class with zoology, for instance. What are my chances?
Okay, so now there are different kinds of funding. They even have the kind of scholarships that they don't require your CGPA. So there are some scholarships that will not even ask you what your grade is. So you need to now focus on the kind of scholarship that is available for you based on who you are. Some scholarships focus on leadership experience. Some scholarships, they want to see what you have volunteered and what you have done for the community development. They have scholarships like that. You talked about somebody that got lawn tennis scholarship. They have sports scholarships. So they have different scholarships for different categories of people. Then sometimes, especially if you graduated a while ago, so for those people that have graduated a while ago, the longer it is that you have graduated, the more the focus shifts from what you graduated as, because now you've gained work experience, you've developed yourself. There was a lady that had a second class lower. Commonwealth Scholarship is one of the most competitive scholarships because it's open for everybody. It's highly competitive. And she got it with a second-class lower. And how did she get with a second-class lower? Because of all the other things that she has done. Show that you've done community service and you have volunteered. Show leadership experience. These are the things that other people show and they shift it. And one mistake I find that people make is a lot of people focus on only their CGPA. So there are a lot of other factors that come in play when you are applying for scholarship. Like your reference letters are a very big one that people do not pay attention to. Your reference letters. What have you done? Your work experience, volunteer experience, leadership experience. The CGPA is mostly the list of all of these things. Then you need to write, sometimes they'll tell you to write a scholarship essay, a strong scholarship essay that is able to get the attention of whoever is reading the scholarship committee. So what most people do is that because they focus on CGPA, they do not focus on any other thing. Another example is when I applied for this Canadian federal government scholarship, NSEC scholarship. The CGPA that they wanted for that scholarship, they put it there, 90%. So it means that you must have 90 over 100, 90 and above. Mine was like 80%. And I applied. It was very competitive across the whole of all the universities in Canada. But I got the scholarship because once I saw that my CGPA was low, I had to now pay attention on my non-transcript documents. So now my reference letters, my CV, my volunteer experience, my leadership experience, I have to pay more attention to all those other things rather than focus on what I don't have. But most people focus on what they don't have and then they disqualify themselves by themselves even before they apply. So I tell people that your third class is not the problem. It's really not the problem. But if you're able to find the opportunity that suits your own portfolio, then you'll be able to do it. But the thing is that most people don't know how to search.
Stan V. Realtors, I'm going to pin his comment so you can see it. He said, Canada, no, they give 2-2 visa. Oh, what's your take on?
That's not true. When it comes to securing visa, your grade only matters when you are securing admission. When you are securing visa, you are taking your letter of acceptance. So the school are giving you admission and they are giving you letter of acceptance letter to say, okay, take this letter. That's the letter you used to apply for visa. There's no business between immigration and your grade. Your grade has business with the school. When school gives you offer, they give you a letter for immigration. So whatever this information this person has is very wrong.
Okay, thank you so much for addressing that. Let me remove it there. I want to bring somebody with a question. Okay. Let me just invite two people randomly here waiting to ask questions. So once they ask their questions, I'll remove them. Guys, are your questions ready?
Good evening, sir.
Bros, on light now. This one we
Yeah. I can see you. There's no light here. We don't have light here in Ogbomoso. So
now, Ogbomoso,
like
you
you said,
watching from?
Yes, sir. I'm a Lautech student, sir.
What is your question?
So I have this question. She said something earlier. So, and she didn't emphasize on it very well. So, what she said was like, okay, she secured a scholarship, but then
okay,
she was having 1.2 million naira in her account or something and stuff like that. So, according to the little research that I've made, I felt like there is a must. We have to pay for this tuition fee before we migrate.
Okay, no, you don't have to pay for tuition fees before you migrate. So different schools have their different requirements. Like the school that I attended, I did not pay for tuition fees until I was already inside of Canada. Like I got in my visa, I'd landed because I arrived 2 months before my school resumed. So I'd landed in Canada before I pay my tuition. But there are some colleges, for example, that will tell you need to pay tuition deposits. then it depends on the school. But most universities, they don't care. You don't need to pay your tuition. And if you get funding, finally, you pay your tuition from your school account. So you don't need to pay money from any other account. So that information you have is not completely correct. It depends on the requirements of the school. And if you get funding with the school, there's something they call promissory notes. You just promise the school that, okay, I have X amount of funding from the school. I'm going to take from there to pay the tuition. Case closed.
Okay. What if, okay, after I pay the tuition, let me say I pay the tuition now, and if my visa was not granted, what will be left for me at that point in time?
So if your visa is, different schools have their different refund policy. So you need to go to the school to check what their refund policy is. In fact, it's very important that you check the refund policy before you are paying any tuition, so that you know that in the worst case scenario, if your visa is not granted, you will get your money back. So I normally tell people, check the refund policy. But most schools, they refund within the first 1 month of resumption of the school. You get 100% refund if you don't get your visa. So for most schools, you always get a refund.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Baba,
yeah, the bird light just now. So the thing is this. The thing is this. The visa too. Will I get refund for the visa too?
Nobody they refund visa.
Yeah, nobody refunds visa. I think that what your focus should be on, what you should be focusing on, is doing the right thing so that your visa is not denied. That's what your focus is on. Because if you are focusing on, if my visa is denied, how will I get refund? Then your focus is from the things that to the things that you shouldn't be doing. Expecting refund. Nobody should be expecting refund because you want your visa to be granted. So you need to focus your attention on what you should do to succeed in your application so that you get once and for all. But nobody's going to refund you on visa fee. You can get refund on tuition, but not visa fee.
All right, man. That's all I need to know. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Daddy Freeze, for bringing me up on here. All right, sir.
So some people were asking how I was able to secure the scholarship. Once I secured the scholarship and I started announcing it and telling everybody, I'd gone ahead. I first of all started by helping one of my brothers who went to the UK, and then I started helping friends. But combining that with motherhood plus my grad program and everything, it became so overwhelming. I just help people again, because then they want you to help them with their CV, help them with their statement of purpose, their essays, to provide, everything. It was becoming too much. I couldn't handle it. Then I stopped helping people. But then I wasn't doing anybody any good by not helping them. So I decided that when people kept bugging me, Zino, please help me, I said I was going to create a program so that everybody can learn to do it by themselves, so they can get the opportunity for themselves. So based on that, I created this program, and that's why the community, we have secured that amount of scholarship, where people have now relocated to Canada, UK, US, Australia, Sweden, other European countries, New Zealand, because I created this program that will teach people how to secure funding opportunities. So now, aside from scholarships, there are also organizations that give loans to international students where you can pay small. So how to secure funding opportunities, scholarships, loan, grant assistantships or teaching assistantships, just to fund your studies so that you are struggling. And some people, when they get scholarship too, they also need to show proof of funds for their families. They're not relocating with your husband. And
yeah, that's exactly what I was about to ask.
You cannot support your
proof of funds.
Get a loan from these loan organizations. When you offer of loan, you can use that with your visa application. So this is what people are doing these days. And many people do not have this information, and that is what I teach people, that okay, this is what you can do, and this is how people are doing it, and this is how to do it. If I tell you to go and Google this scholarship, you will not find it on Google, because most of them they are not on Google. You won't find it on Google. So I don't do you any good by telling you go and Google it. I can as well just tell you, wait, don't ask me. That is the same response. I can as well just say, don't ask me, because you will not find it on Google. But you can learn how to find it for yourself and do the application for yourself without relying on anybody. Then for those people that are relying on agents, where they are not held hostage by the agents, you don't need to be held hostage by agents. By the way, very important, no agent can help you to secure funding. If you find that agent that helps you secure funding, come and tell me so that I can reevaluate my stand. But no agent can help you secure funding. And there's no use in securing admission that you cannot claim because you don't have funding for it. So at the end of the day, your focus, first of all, to be getting the right information first and how to fund this thing that you are about to embark on. Because even if you get admission and you're so excited about the admission, if you don't have money in your bank account, you cannot fund it. You will not, there's nothing you will do. You will not go anywhere. So the first things first, get the right information, then sort out your funding, sort out your admission, your visa, and then you can relocate.
Okay.
Okay. But then start the process, you will see that's when you need help. And the only way to get help is to get the right help. Because a lot of people here, they say, tell me things or hearsay, is to work with somebody who has walked this path and has succeeded in this thing that you are about to do. Personally, that's how I make my life easy. Mentorship. I seek mentorship. Get help from somebody that has succeeded so that they can show you the way. You don't need to make the same mistakes. You don't need to struggle anymore, because this person is just going to show you what to do, tell you how to do it, show you where to find information, tell you how to package your application so that you stand out. But many people make the mistake thinking that it's only them that is applying. It's not only people from Nigeria, people from Africa that are applying, people from all over the world. So it's competitive. So you have to be able to compete in a global market.
Okay. There's this one more thing I want to ask.
One question,
So,
to ask their questions.
Okay, just this one. Would there be a part-time job for someone, or there will be something?
Good question. As an international student abroad, you are able to work 20 hours per week. So that 20 hours per week is actually part-time, and the money you make from that job is enough to take care of your living expenses. So people are able to take care of their expenses, like their house rent, their phone bill, feeding, to live is enough for you. When you work 20 hours per week, is enough for you to take care of your living expenses. So yes, you are able to work part-time. So your study visa, it states on your study visa, or when you get your study permit rather, it stated there that this permit allows you to work for 20 hours per week. So it doubles as your study permit and your work permit as well. So yes, you can work. And if you are married and you go with your spouse, work full-time.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let me bring in the next. Thank you so much, bro. Us boy.
Yes, sir.
That's his name. More people are lining up. Zino, you go talk tire today.
But I have to leave back. That's your 8:30, I believe.
Let me bring in as many people as I can, one by one. Where are the ladies? Okay, Stone Porch. All right.
Okay, sorry, Daddy Fritz, the guy actually asked the question I wanted to ask. So about the working part-time thing, so it's been answered. But another question is this, lady, was the a particular amount they wanted you to have in your account before they were granted the visa?
Okay, so that's another good question. Yes, so normally they have specific amounts that you have in your account if you're applying for visas. It depends on the country. So I'm going to use Canada as a case study. If you're applying to Canada, they expect you to have tuition fee for 1 year plus $10,000. That $10,000 is your living expense. So whatever your tuition for 1 year is, you add that plus $10,000. That's what they expect you to have in your account. However, if you are able to secure some sort of funding one way or the other, then you do not need to show that money. So for me, because I got funding for myself, I only had to show proof of funds for my son who I was carrying. So for him, based on the immigration rules, I had to show $4,000 for my son. So that's all I had to show. My own proof of fund was my letter of scholarship. That was I showed that I've gotten this scholarship, which is able to cover for me. Then for my son, I have the $4,000, which immigration says you have to show. So that's what I did. For some people that don't even have that $4,000 in their account, for example, I said that there are organizations that give international students loans. So you can secure a loan. When you secure a loan, they give you something like a loan offer. Is a letter that tells them that you have secured the loan and how much they are going to give you in the loan. So they use that to support it. When you go on the website, it tells you the list of the things, like things you can use to show as proof of funds. An offer of loan is part of them. So if you put that, then you get it. There's one lady that I helped that got, and she got funding at the university, and she moved with her 3 children. Her funding, of course, covered her. She secured loan of $25,000 here in Canada for her 3 children. So she secured it from Nigeria. And then they gave her that letter. She wrote to a supporting letter with her application, showing them her funding and her letter. She put the loan offer and the details. And she got the visa. She and her 3 children, they came here in February. Yeah, so there are different funding options. You just need to know how to find them. See, I created a free training because I know that people will have these questions. And I know the popular questions that people ask me. So I created a free training for everybody to watch, so at least we get first-hand information and the basic information that we need to start off on this journey. If you go to my profile at Zino Ojogbo on Instagram or Facebook, that is ZINO OJOGBO, and click the link in my bio. It will take you to the direct training. To take you to the training, the free training. Go and watch that training.
Let me put her account here.
More.
I want to pin her account.
Yeah, it's detailed there for you. You can watch it.
Okay, one question for you, please.
Okay, go on.
Zeno, did I get it?
I can't see. The last thing I see here is the email that I entered.
The account is pinned. Yes, I can see it.
I just pinned your account.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, okay. I see. Yeah.
Okay,
so the question Can I go on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, the question I have is this. If it's an undergraduate, then whose accounts would they want? The sponsor?
Oh, yes.
If it's an undergraduate.
So I don't normally deal with undergraduates, but I'm going to answer your question. So for undergraduates, some people are mature students, mature undergraduates. They have money, they can fund themselves. You can use your account statement. You can use your sponsor's account statement. It doesn't even matter whether you're undergraduate or graduate. Anyone that you are, you can use your own statement or you can use a sponsor statement. So like a third party that is sponsoring you, you can use a third party sponsored bank statement, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, my dear sister. I have my daughter Amarachi. She's here. She wants to ask her own questions. I have both my daughters here. So Amarachi, what's your question? Louder, let's hear you.
She said that Google is not the best place to find scholarship. So where did she find her own scholarship?
Okay. Amarachi said, you said Google is not the best place to find scholarship. So where did you find your scholarship?
Okay, so that's a very good question. You need to be able to find, we call them hidden scholarships. You need to be able to find the hidden scholarships. Most of these scholarships are provided. So there are different organizations that provide scholarships, for example. Like the government provides scholarships. That one, if you Google it, you find it. Organizations like Commonwealth, those ones are very popular. They are popular scholarships. If you Google it, you find it. Those ones, we call them open scholarships. So they are open to everybody. But then there are some scholarships that are hidden. These scholarships are provided by the institutions. So like for my master's scholarship, I was funded by the University of Waterloo. So they are provided by the institutions. If you Google it, you will not find it. You need to actually look into the institutions for you to be able to find these opportunities. And many times you have to look for them. It's like getting hired by the university. That's what it looks like. So you have to actually look for them. But Googling it alone will not show you. And this is what I teach, how to find it and how to secure it. I teach this in my program.
Instance, I've searched Google all my life. I couldn't find anything. Can I come to you and you'd help me? Do you do consultancy for things like that?
Yes. So I prepared a training for everybody. So you're able to, we train you. It's like a 30-day step-by-step training. So this step-by-step training, the way it works is hands-on training. Normally, people that follow our training and finish by the 30th day, they submitted the application. Like they've submitted their scholarship application, their admission. Some people, before the end of the training, they even get scholarship because it's hands-on. We show you what to do, tell you how to do it, and we do it with you, just so that you are moving, because we want you to move. So the way the training is designed such that you are doing something today that will help you tomorrow, and the one you do tomorrow will push you. So every day you are pushing towards the finish line. That's how the training is designed. So by the end of the 30 days training, some of our participants have already secured scholarship. Some of them admission.
For more information, guys, Zino Ojogbo on Instagram. Can you please type your email address again so I can pin that one too, so people can get in touch with you? Guys, this is your opportunity. You don't have that much money, but you're willing to work, you have experience, and you have a degree. Maybe you've been looking in the wrong places. I remember a colleague of mine called me one day and said, I should pay 20 million naira inside her account. I can't look and say, when now only woman when man they date, or person wife, or person sister, now go if put 20 million.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And all this is because they are stubborn and they want to go and do things their own way, and they get everything twisted. Amarachi has another question. What's your question? How many questions do you have? Okay, so the ones that I already answered, leave them. Which other ones?
Okay, and this one is from
Louder.
This one from your Instagram post that I saw.
Okay.
It was concerning designated learning institutes in Canada.
Designated learning institutes in Canada, yeah, from your Instagram.
And graduate work permits.
And they grant postgraduate work permit.
So how long does the work permit last? Is it permanent?
How long does the work permit last? Is it a permanent thing? Is it renewable? Or is it something that has a short lifespan? She's talking about something on your page, so you can throw some light on it.
Yeah, so after studies in Canada, you get up to 3 years postgraduate work permit. This means that you are able to work in the country for up to 3 years. Within that time, that 3 years, you are able to apply for permanent residency to become a permanent resident in Canada. Normally, what most students do is that they go via the Canadian Experience class. It's called Canadian Experience class because you should have gotten 1 year work experience in Canada for you to qualify to apply via the Canadian Experience class. So that's how most people go from students to a worker and then to permanent residents. But what I was trying to highlight from the post she's talking about is that now, not all. So Canada has something called designated learning institutions. These institutions are institutions that are able to bring in international students. So it tells us that not all schools in Canada can bring in international students. So when you are applying to Canada, you need to apply for a school that has a designated learning institution number, call it DLI. Even within those DLI, not all of these institutions are eligible to give for you to get postgraduate work permit post-study. So this is why I tell people that if you are coming to Canada to study and you know that you want to remain in the country after you study, you need to go to a school that is able to give you postgraduate work permit after study. So that's what I was trying to point out with that post. But most people, what they do is that they go to meet their agent. Agent doesn't have this information. Agent will just apply to any school for them. They get the admission, they come to Canada, and when they get here, they discover that they cannot get postgraduate work permits. They are stranded. Some of them have to go back home. Some of them will not hide inside the system. They just hide. So, and I don't want it to happen to anybody. And this is the thing. This when I talk about getting the right information, it's what information can fix. You just don't apply to a school that cannot give you postgraduate work permit. It's as simple as that. But you need to have the right information first.
Okay. Yeah. Any more questions?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How many scholarships did you win to fully fund your education?
How many scholarships did you win to fully fund your education?
Okay, so I got the scholarship I got from the university itself was able to fully fund my education. But there's something I teach people called scholarship stacking. From my scholarship, I was able to secure a down payment to buy a 4-bedroom duplex. It's because I was able to start other scholarships. I'm able to drive a brand new. Yes, I'm able to support my mother at home. I'm able to save money for my son's university, even as a student. So I call it stacking. Yeah, we call it scholarship stacking. Some people, they just get scholarship and they relax. But for me, I thought about it that when I came here, I teach people information is power. When I came here, like every other international student, they want to quickly go and work with their, they have 20 hours per week, right? You're able to work. But as a mother to a young child that I have to put in the daycare, when I put him in the daycare and I go and work minimum wage job, all the money I've worked for that day, I use it to pay for daycare. It didn't make any sense, right? It's as if I was working for the daycare provider. Let me stay in my house. I sat down one day and I said, there must be a way. There must be a way out of this thing. That's when I stayed in front of my computer and I started looking for scholarships everywhere and applying. I realized something during that my application. There are some scholarships that receive 0 application, no application at all. So it means that if you apply for that scholarship, no matter how bad your grade is, no matter how bad your application is, they will give it to you because the money is there and it's only your application, so they will give it to you. I started applying for all these scholarships. That's how I got the skill to apply for, to secure scholarships. And I started stacking all the scholarships. So I'll get, even some of them were $500. I will apply because it took me like 1 hour to apply for a $500 scholarship. So my worry people will say, gada na bundle. So that was how, so that was how I gathered it. And that's how I was able to do all of these things until I now got that huge federal government scholarship. Then these days, I'm now looking at big scholarships. Okay, if I apply with 10 grand, those are kind of scholarships I now apply for. And I tell people that it's possible. But many people would rather, you know, they say, okay, they want to run and go and work. I'm not saying that working is bad, but for me, it wasn't favorable because all the money I worked, I used it to pay for daycare. So at the end of the day, it didn't make sense to me. So that's how I focused on scholarship and I got multiple scholarships. So in addition to the one from the university, I got multiple scholarships and I had extra money. That's how it worked out for me.
Going to open up the lines one more time. I know we have just 1 minute, but I'll stretch it a little bit more. Do you have any more questions? How many more? Just last. Oh yeah.
How did she get the information about all this? Where did she find it?
Where did you find the information for all this? Like you said, you started searching, you got home and said, you know what? Where do you get the information from? Or is there a way you provide this information for people?
Oh, yes, I provide information for people hands-on. I give them templates, give them samples. People have used my application documents to go and get scholarship. Like they look at it and try to use my format and they get scholarship. So I give them templates, give them samples, show them where to find, provide list of these scholarships for them. Like I do, I basically just give them everything and say, go and do this. And then they are able to do it. So I provide all of that information. By the time Amarachi is ready, I think she's still in school, right? That if we send Amarachi to me, we'll send her to a dream country. Yeah.
Now I have another daughter, babes. What are your questions? Real quick and very loud. Okay, while you're getting your questions out, let me bring somebody here so we can, so it won't be like Daddy Freeze just bringing, because my children just rushed there and said, we have question. So let's bring someone live.
I like how inquisitive they are. Some people will not.
They are very.
Yeah.
Come, why don't you have lights like this? Why are you embarrassing us?
I get the sound of the generator even.
Can't be like wings where they return from meeting. Can we see? Sorry, Zino, let me bring somebody else. Guys, if you are not ready, don't even request. While we're looking for the next person, all right, babes, what is your question? Loud, please. Okay, are there any opportunities for vet doctors, and zoologists in Canada?
Yes. So people that are like, a lot of people have pets here. So pet doctors, they do very well here. They make good money. They do very well. So there are lots of opportunities for them here. Even the zoologists and people that have other biological science background, there are numerous opportunities for them. In fact, I see a lot of scholarships for those people compared to all the others. So yes, there are opportunities.
So you are more likely to get a zoology scholarship than a chemistry scholarship.
So there are a lot of opportunities for people in any of the sciences. For example, like I see this zoology and botany and all those ones. I post them a lot, especially in the biological sciences. They have many opportunities. So yes, she's able to get any of those animal sciences. You see, there's some people, their research is that they are researching something inside fish belly. That's all they work on for 4 years, researching something that is inside the fish belly, you know. So they have lots of opportunities for them. Yeah, so she would definitely get something.
Second question.
Occupations that she suggests to a person who didn't pull through with veterinary.
Occupations that you suggest in Canada for someone who didn't pull through with vet medicine. I don't understand. Like the person didn't finish vet medicine. It didn't work for them. My daughter is a little. So, but it didn't work for you. It means you went through the course and you couldn't get a job. Work opportunities. I think that one was answered previously. There are many work opportunities for people in vet medicine and zoology. Any other question? Okay, let's get somebody else. The people are coming, but their lines are so bad.
Yeah.
I want to bring. Okay, Kima Beauty. Kima is my friend. Let me bring her up.
Okay, and for people that have questions that we're not able to take today, go and click the link in my the free training.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I just have something to say because I don't want anybody to migrate here and start regretting because I wasted 1 year, paid international school fees, studied biotechnology for 8 months, and I've been here. I didn't get no job.
Where?
So, yeah, I'm in Toronto.
Oh, Toronto. Okay.
Yeah, I graduated with microbiology in University of Abuja before I came over here, and the plan was because that course is in category B, I was going to be able to use it to get my permanent resident. I did not. So if you're doing any course for somebody, please and please do something relevant. Do something that they're going to get a job. Do something that they can build a career, you know, have a career pathway they can grow. Because it's not every course out there, you know, that is relevant. It might be easy for them to get admission and come here. Yes. But what happened when they get here? Are you going to be here to guide them to like, okay, change to another course so that they can be useful after studying the course? I don't want anybody to come here and waste a year, even one day, studying anything that is not going to be useful. That's why I'm calling it. So it's not about the big name. It's about what are they going to do with it? What's the career path?
Okay. I'm going to. You see, Nigerians tend to look at money making as job. Sometimes your career path requires you to for research, study requires you to go down certain route. So to answer the question, Zino, over to you.
So first of all, when inside of our training, while we are talking about when we teach people find
hold on, Zino. Mute your mic. You're kind of back in the mic so you can listen. All right, Zino, over to you.
So when we teach people about like the right program, we also check employability of the course. So we teach them to check employability of the course by checking like Indeed and checking other websites, other job application websites. That's one. Another thing that I find is that most times, we tell people also you need to develop skills. Like for example, me as a chemical engineer and a researcher and doing my PhD, Even right now, while I'm in school, I've gone to look at employability after my PhD. And I've seen that maybe I may not get the kind of job I want as a chemical engineer, but my PhD involves data analytics and data science. So I am now focusing on the data science part, and that is the part I want to go into post PhD. But I also see that some people just expect that a lot of people, they finish from school, they have no skills. And people will not only employ you because of your certificate, you need to develop skills along the line as you go. So you need to also be curious. Don't wait until you have finished that program for you to start looking at what are the opportunities for me here. You are doing the program. People with this degree, what are they looking for in the industry? Check while you are there so that you can prepare. And the reason why I'm doing this right now is because I also have a mentor in the industry. I have people that are mentoring me in the industry, and they're telling me that, okay, this your degree is relevant, but you need to develop these skills. So if you don't develop those skills, you may not be employable. My younger brother did a master's degree in subsea engineering. Those people, they work in the oil services and offshore. It was at that time during his degree, when he was doing his degree, the oil price dropped. When they started firing everybody in the oil industry. But he had software development as skill. Now he's a manager in Fortune 500 company from a degree in mechanical engineering, but he's a software developer. He has no degree in software or in computer science. So at the end of the day, I tell people that you need to develop, because some people just feel like, all they depend on is their degree. It's not going to work for you if all you want to depend on is your certificate. You must develop skills alongside your certificates. So find out what skills they are employing for you to develop those skills.
All right, we have somebody here. Get your questions ready and get your voice ready too. We have somebody here. Can we please see your face?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's quite dark here though.
Where are you?
Yeah, thank you everyone. So Dr. Freeze, I just want to talk about that lady that was that she's based in Toronto. What she said is right. Like I tell people here in Canada, like first thing first is your location determines the kind of job you get. So and according to Zino, who was talking about the skills as add-on your own CV or resume, yeah, she's very correct. I came into Canada, I studied petroleum. I did petroleum, master's in petroleum for my master's. And that was in 2015 when the oil was, oil price was pretty low and the economy was bad. At that point, I needed to diversify. I ventured into reliability engineering today in mining because I was able to get my skills up on the game, like data analytics, PMP, certified maintenance and reliability professional, MDT, CMROP, come to think of it, or just name it out there. So you need to be able to diversify. I believe what she's trying to tell you is maybe she jumped the gun by coming in for just 1 year program, thinking she was going to get 3 years, PGWP. But then what she could have done is this. Most people don't know. When you come in with 1 year program, your PGWP is going to be 1 year. There are some provinces you don't need a job in class B or A for you to be able to qualify for, you need to work 1 year before you qualify for PMP. There is a province called Northwest Territory. Most people don't know. It's closer to the up north region. You only need to work there for just 6 months in class C or D, staples or whatever, and she will not be stuck. Because now she has PGWP of 1 year. She's running around because she wants to get a permanent resident within that same 1 year.
It's not possible.
And then she's now, but yeah, Zino, see, like I said, if I've worked in up north, like Northwest Territory. If you work there in class C or D, any of the class C or D jobs for just 6 months, she will qualify for PMP, Provincial Nominee Program, and then she will get a PRO before a postgraduate work permit expires. So information is key. I like what you're doing. You're saying the right thing. You're putting it out there that the skills are right. I was just listening to your own to your old conversation with Daddy Freeze, and I like the questions that are being popped out there. You know, people are saying a lot of good things and all that, and corrections are going right on the comment section. Yeah, nice one. Thanks.
All right,
Thanks.
brother. Thank you so much, Chuksi. Do have so much fun. All right, babes, your question so we can start rounding off. Hmm? How did you secure your permanent residency, or what stage is your permanent residency? How do you put it?
Yeah.
Via your scholarship. How long did it take, or how long is it going to take you?
Yeah, so I became a permanent resident in 2019. Well, just right now, I'm waiting. I applied for my citizenship already, and I'm waiting to get my passport. I'll just go to the UK and get tested. Yeah. So like I tell people, information is key. At the time I applied, then they were still doing something called the Federal Express Entry. They have paused it for now, but they were doing Federal Express Entry. So I didn't have to go through the route of postgraduate work permit. I never got a postgraduate work permit. I was already in the Express Entry pool at that time. So I just updated with my Canadian degree. My points went up. I received an invitation to apply for permanent residency. I applied and I got it. So it took me like 2 years after I came into Canada to get my PR. And now I've applied for citizenship last year, and I'm waiting for them to give me my citizenship. So there are different pathways to permanent residency when you come here. You come here legally.
For instance.
Sorry?
What of someone who is an American citizen?
An American citizen, they still, for them, American citizens are able to live in Canada for a short time, but they still need to get their PR, so they will still go through the same route. Yeah, but they are able to, because of I think they have work agreements. Canada and America has work agreements. So if they're able to get a job, then they can work in Canada. But however, if they want to reside here permanently, then they have to still go via the route. But they can come in with their passport anytime, and yeah.
Okay. Any more questions, babes? Do you need? Now, after your scholarship, do you still need a certain amount of money? Like, for instance, you spoke earlier on about your son. You were free, but you're $4,000. And how do you cut corners in such a way that you don't have to have this money? Are there opportunities? Is there anything you teach people to do so as to avoid the need to have this extra money on them?
Okay, so you need to have the extra money is an immigration requirement. So it's like a visa requirement. They want to see that you're not coming here to depend on their resources. But for people that don't have the money, especially for those people that are trying to support their family, there are organizations that give international students loan in Canada. In Canada and the US, they have them in the UK as well. You can apply for them from your home country. So you are in Nigeria, you can apply for this loan from Nigeria, and then they will give you an offer. They approve the loan and they give you an offer that they are going to give you the loan. Then they will give you the loan once you have come into the country. But with that loan offer, you can use that for whatever application you want to use it for, and it is recognized, and your whatever application will be approved is recognized as your proof of funds. So for people that don't have money, what I tell them to, because some of them will go and collect loan from individuals in Nigeria and they're paying 10% per month. It's ridiculous, a lot of money. So if you can get that, I show them that you can apply to this.
Okay.
All right, awesome. We have somebody here.
Good evening, sir.
No question.
Yes, sir.
You have one.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lady Zino.
Right.
I've watched the webinar and all that. I'm very excited to be here today. I want to say thank you for what you're doing. God will bless you. I swear to God. So my question is this. I'm just overwhelmed that somebody from I'm an honorable girl. Oh. That someone from my place is doing this is getting me so excited. Oh. The lady that spoke about microbiology, because I have started applying before now, but my degree is third class. So I'm not going for direct masters. I was thinking of doing a postgraduate certificate or a postgraduate diploma before I divert into master's and then proceed. Now, my question is this. I am a microbiologist.
Okay.
And I have worked as an administrative executive in the oil sector while I was in Port Harcourt. I have worked in the aviation sector. And by the grace of God, I am an entrepreneur now. Okay. I sell cars. That's what my name is there. But presently, I have this passion and desire for health. I want to find out what can make people healthy for the rest of their lives. So I am deciding to do public administration.
For health, or you know that there is money in health.
No. I have a passion. I have a passion for health. I have a passion for health. Yeah, I have taken care of. No. It's something in my life. I wanted to be a medical doctor, but it's like I like money too much. So before I knew it, I found myself in the oil sector. So now the glass ceiling, like Zino mentioned earlier, I am there already. I want to break free and move forward. So as a microbiologist, I had this plan to become a public health administrator. Now, the question I want to ask is this. From these stories I have said, I know I am good with leadership. Is it right for me to do public health administration research or thought masters?
Okay, so that's a good question. Whether you do thought masters or research masters. So the difference between the two of them, thought masters and research masters, is that one, you take only courses.
And which one is research masters? I did hear this thing for the first time.
So for a thought masters, they call it thought masters or course-based. Thought, T-A-U-G-H-T.
Oh, they go teach
classroom.
Yes. It's the kind of masters where you just go in and you take courses. You do coursework and you graduate and you go. Research masters is that you do a research component and you write a thesis. So you research on something, on a topic, and you write a thesis. So that's the difference between the two of them, thought masters and research masters. So now it depends.
Okay, so my degree, my qualification, like I have a third class, that was what deterred me from applying since. Okay. But with all this knowledge that are coming now, I want to do it. So I think from what you have told me, I think I would want to do a research because I am working on something about blood type diets on my own. I'm following one doctor in America, Dr. Adamo. But I don't have a voice because I do not have a certificate to run a blog officially. So I would want to do the research, but I was scared that because of third class, I may not be able to do research.
Okay, yeah, so it depends on where you are going to do this research. There are some countries that they accept the grades, low grades, if you want to do that.
No, I'm going to do a postgraduate in Canada first.
So a postgraduate diploma, then that's fine. After your postgraduate diploma, you can do a research-based master's. And for what you said you want to do, I see that you want to become an authority in the field, then you need to do a research, and you have to start publishing your work. So for you to be able to do that, if I were you, first of all, this doctor that you are following, I would email the doctor and tell them, I want to volunteer with you. So when you volunteer...
the doctor is in America, and my desire is in Canada.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The academia is universal. I work with people in different countries. It must not only be in Canada, in Canada where you want to go to. You can work with anybody, anywhere. If I were you, I would email I want to volunteer. I want to volunteer with you. When you volunteer with her, she's in academia, and you work with them. If you contribute to any work that they have done, when they publish that work, your name will be on that work. That's the way to start getting your voice out there. You don't need to wait first. Start by volunteering. Email her. I admire your work. Talk about something that you admire about her work. Let her know that you have read this work. Talk about something specific so she knows that you have read the work. Tell her, I want to volunteer with you. What can you do as regards her work? And tell her that you're open to learning, even if you cannot do everything that she already does, but you're open to learning. Let her know what the constraints are. A lot of people are looking for people to work with. I tell you, I'm going to work with you, and that's the way to get out there. You don't need to wait first until you're in Canada. Start now. By the time you're applying to Canada, this is the kind of thing that you put as your volunteer experience. You contact that person to write you a reference letter, solid reference letter. You are in.
Wow.
All right, thank you so much.
I have so much love for you. I need to clap for you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Her email address is zino.nwennede, @gmail.com. On Instagram, she is at Zino Ojogbo. ZINOOJOGBO. Final question to you.
Yeah.
Skills, like basic skills that.
What are the basic skills that count?
Okay, so if you are going to grad school, the kind of skills that you should be looking, if you are still an undergraduate, I would advise you to keep your grades up, especially the grades in your last 2 years. If you are still an undergraduate. If you are able to attend conferences, attend those conferences. If you are able to write anything, blogs, anything academic, write in blogs, write academic paper, your thesis, keep a copy of it, do something good in your thesis and make sure that you are contributing something. If you're able to do that, if you're able to volunteer, like see this lady now, I told her to go and volunteer. If you're able to volunteer in areas that you are interested in, have those volunteer experiences. Leadership. What are you doing? What is your contribution to the community? Do some leadership work as well, and be able to show it that this is what you did and this is what you achieved during that time. These are the kind of skills that you would need to show in your resume for your grad school application.
All right, Zino, we've overstretched it with 23 extra minutes. You owe me.
Yeah. Yeah. So, guys, I have this free training in my bio. Go and click the link in my bio at ZINOOJOGBO. Watch that training. It will answer most of all your questions, I tell you.
Okay. Now, I want you to tell people, spend the next 2 minutes selling where they can get, because this is where the end of the whole video is. This is how you contact this genius called Zino. She has literally answered every question, plus the person that had third class, plus the person in Ojogbo that did not have lights, plus the auntie that looked like she was returning from witchcraft meeting. All their questions were answered, and not just answered, because I have my whole room is full. Everybody say, God, they say, oh, wow. So this is how the people go to Canada. So everybody say, I wish I knew this 3 years ago. I wish I knew this 5 years ago. I probably will not be where I am today. I wish this, I wish that. Yes, yes, you can keep on wishing and you grow old. And instead of you to become Rihanna of Hollywood, you end up being Rihanna of Abule Egba, Beyonce of Rihanna, Britney Spears of Agege, Kanye West of Agbado. Your opportunities. There is something out there specially prepared for your skill set, your educational abilities, and your passion. Your passion should not be money. Your passion should be, I really want to do something. I want to see why fish lay eggs and why they don't do naming ceremony when they give birth. And then you are passionate about this, and then you dedicate your life to it. Now, all these things and more, I'm not the authority. I just have the platform. The authority is my well-read guest. Not only has she been able to secure her papers, she's on her way to obtaining citizenship in how many years now?
5 years.
In 5 years, she's bought a house. She's bought a brand new car. She's about to obtain her citizenship, and she's on her PhD.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if she can do it, she went to school in Nigeria. So you going to school in Nigeria is not a hindrance. It's when you go to school in Nigeria and you are doing hookup. When you go to school in Nigeria, you are more concerned about your eyelashes and your miniskirt than you are about your grades. Or you go to school and want to hop from one party to the other, it's up to you. She's been a genius. I've learned so much, and you can learn more. Her email address is pinned. I'm going to put this video on Facebook, on YouTube, every single social media platform I own is going to have this video. So it would be an amazing opportunity for you to do this for yourself. Contact her now at Zino Ojogbo. She will answer all your questions. So Zino, I give you the platform to sign off. I had so much fun. Thank you for the education, the information, and the fact that you're so easily accessible. So tell them how to reach you.
Okay, so guys, I want us to know that the easiest and the fastest and the most reliable way to relocate abroad is via the study pathway. And irrespective of your age, your grade, your family size, or whatever you think is limiting you, there are opportunities for everyone. And I know that many of us have questions that we're not able to take all the questions today, but I prepared a free training. If you go to my page at Zino Ojogbo, ZINOOJOGBO, click the link in my bio, watch the free training, and then you can get all your questions answered. And you can easily always send me a DM or send me an email, and I'll respond to you. And I'll be happy to answer your questions. Regardless of whatever you think your situation is, there are opportunities for you, and you can relocate with your family, your husband and your children. You all can relocate together. So don't allow limitations to stop you, or you think that because you don't have money. I didn't have money too, but look at me today. Look at where I am too. So just like the kind of limitations that you think you had, I had them also. But then we look beyond these limitations and we see the opportunities. And that's what I will show you. And you can learn the step by step on how to secure scholarships, admissions, and relocate with your family. You can learn that, and you can duplicate that, and you can do that, and you can succeed, and you can give yourself a better life. I tell you that you deserve better. Your children deserve better. And when you relocate abroad, it's like you're opening, it's generational opportunity. You give your children, your children's children, you create generational opportunities for your lineage. And that's something that you want to do. So follow me on all my social media handles at ZINOOJOGBO. I post valuable content every day. And then click the link in the bio, watch the free training. If you have questions, send me a DM, and I'll be happy to support you. You deserve the good things in life, and you can achieve it. I was like you one day, struggling, not sure what to do or how to start or where to start from. But I succeeded, and because I've succeeded, you don't need to struggle anymore. So send me a message, and I'll be happy to help you. Thank you for joining this live session, and Daddy Freeze, thank you for giving me this platform today to come here. I really, really had fun.
You're most welcome. Thank you for coming. And guys, it's over to you. Do take care and stay blessed.
Mm-hmm.